Hey guys, Raptor here. A lot of you guys have been asking for dialing tutorials, so I figured I'd throw a little something together for you guys today. So I'm going to go over a couple of concepts in this tutorial, as well as give you guys a few combos to practice on your own. And the whole point of tutorials are to let you guys in on a concept, and then you kind of branch off from there and kind of make it your own thing, put it into your shows your own way. So, feel free to use the things that I'm giving you, but, you should really be trying to, change it up and make it your own from here. So just starting with some basics. A dial is pretty much where you take one finger and place it on top of another finger. Okay, you can do this a couple different ways. I can do this with my index on top of my middle finger. I can take my pinkies on top of my ring fingers. I can take my middle on top of index and ring fingers on top of pinkies. That one's a lot harder, as you can see. But with practice, you'll get it down. Anyway, so the last tutorial I made, I showed you guys a very basic combo where you kind of dial all four. You kind of open it, place in between. See how I only placed one in between? I don't place them all the way over. It makes it line up really well, especially when you do the next part of the combo where you add this finger stacking. Now from here you have all one line, and with lights it looks like one solid line of lights, and you're going to come back the same way you came. Alright, and then I believe I kind of showed you guys how you can kind of switch out there, things like that. Well, we're going to kind of branch off from there, and you can either start with this, or you can do that combo we just did into this. Anyway, here that works. You're going to dial both, now you're going to open one and go in between. Now from here, I can very simply undial and redial, and then switch to the other side and do the same. But you want to kind of branch out, do some other things. So what I like to do here is I open and I switch my two top ones. So if you see here, my left hand has both in the middle and my right hand's the outside. Now I'm going to switch. So it's one in each. Then you can dial, 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 switch again. Try with the other one now. Alright guys, another concept that you can do from here is instead of being having my hands vertical, you can have your hands be horizontal. Then I can pretty much do the same things I just did, but reversed. So far what we can do is we can dial each individual finger. We can either stack them one at a time, or I can bring them in the middle. I can come out, or I can bring it back to that same position, and I can continue it all from there as well. From here I'm going to bring that in, and I can turn it, bring it there. Alright guys, so those are just a few of the basic dialing concepts that you guys can keep in mind. Once again, nothing too fancy. So if you guys are just starting out, you've seen some dials, you want to start looking into it, these are a couple things to kind of get your feet wet. Now for those of you guys who already have some of the basic dials down and want to get some more intricate, you have to start looking at combining your dials with other concepts that you do. Like I like using a lot of digits with my dials. Like I'll dial one and I'll either pull it, dial and pull it. Then you can go in between like a pass through almost. That's a concept I really like. Another one that I really like is you can take one, you kind of flatten it, then you can push your hand over, things like that, and you can go through. You can raise it up. Another one that I like to do is I push these down when these come on top. So that's another concept that you can add to your dials to make them a little bit to add more depth to your dials. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a quick little combo that uses some digiting with the dials. Okay, so you're going to start with your hands here. I like using my left hand for dialing more, so I'm going to dial in one here. I'm going to flip it over. And as I do, you notice I kind of bend these fingers as I'm flipping to make it look cleaner, so I only have that one dial there. Anyway, so I'm here, flip, and now I'm going to push down here. I'm going to go around and push here. I'm going to switch. And now from here, I'm going to bring just the top finger, which is my middle finger, in between my other two that were currently not digited. And then I'm going to take the other one now. I'm going to pull back, dial, forward, up. I'm going to separate them so they're side by side again as I push these down and come up. Alright guys, just play with that one. That one's a really cool one, and you guys can can branch off from there. You guys can come up with some cool things. Like for example, if you're here, you can come around, you can push through, and now these two are digited, and these ones are open. You can dial those. You know, you can do all sorts of different things there. I want to go over one more concept, and that's going to be dialing with a wave tut. Now, these, in my opinion, look really, really cool. However, they're really basic and really generic. So try and, branch out and come up with something cool. I have yet to really come up with my own version of these yet, but here are a couple ones that I do. I'll dial one, and then I'll wave. I'll then push forward, dial, and wave back. And now these are pretty generic. I can do these. I can go up, you can go down, you can push forward like I did, you can turn it, do them. Once again, but they're still pretty generic. So one thing that I actually started doing, just change it up, is I actually do the other side now because I realized I dial way too much on my left. So I start dialing on my right, do some waves. Up from here, I actually turn it, push down. I push this finger in like a finger connection, and I wave there. And you can start pulling out like digits from here. Wave down that way, pull it, and you can go back into your other waves. But anyway, the whole thing that was different about that one is instead of just doing the waves back and forth, when I get to my pinky, I pull my thumb out and flip this up. Now if you notice, you can't see the dial because of orientation, so what I do now is I push and I kind of do a trace. As I pull it down, I do the dial, and then I do the finger connection. So one more time. You're going to dial, do a couple waves. I like to do a dial with the waves. I get back to my pinky, pull my thumb, and flip your hand up. Trace with your pinky to pull your hand that's dialed down. Dial, and do a finger connection to pull out your index. And I always like to do a dial in between each one just to add depth. Alright guys, hope some of these concepts helps you, and I hope you guys can come up with some cool things on your own from these concepts. If anyone has any more questions, please let me know, and hope this was useful, guys. Have a good one.